stress management and organization skills. Last week we talked about personal financial management. Everybody have we'll take a lot away from that? Outstanding. We're going to talk about time management and organizational management today, which are two extremely important issues when you're talking about managing and leading teams. Because if you're not organized and on top of your day, each and every day, every minute of every day, days slip away very quickly, and you're not able to control your operation. You need to be focused and disciplined and in control at all times. Also, with regards to stress management, is very important as well. Because if you come into work stressed, how many of you are stressed at school quite a bit? Okay, I know at the times I was still in my doctoral program, but stress eats away at you too. And just like we talked about the stress last week from financial management, if you're struggling to pay your rent, you can't make your electric bill, or whatever the case may be, and adds stress to you, it's all one big, we're looking at this from a holistic standpoint. So, the financial piece is one piece of it, but if you're not able to control your stress and you're coming into work and you're burned out physically, emotionally, mentally, it's going to wear on you, and that ends up wearing on your staff. Because a lot of times it's not necessarily where people quit companies, they quit working for people. How many of you worked for a good company but had a boss that was a terror, and so you left? I know I have. The company overall was pretty good, but it just didn't work out. And it's unfortunate at times because there's some really good companies out there, but it's people that make you leave or want to leave back. Also, in regards to time management, letting the day get away from you. A lot of us, we talked about procrastination a couple weeks ago. If you're procrastinating and you're not on top of regards to time management, it's going to wear on you in your career detrimental. Talk about that. We're talking about being resourceful, being calm, and that all in all, being efficient at work. We're going to talk about different how stress affects performance, types, causes, and methods of dealing with stress, identifying using time management skills, dealing with procrastination to improve personal productivity, stating how an organization affects time and stress management, and naming and applying organizational techniques to academic workplace performance. So stress, as we all know, is the body's reaction to a tense situation. What are some different things that causes stress? School? What about school?
Just like deadlines and stuff.
Deadlines. Deadlines. Big one. Same thing at work. You have deadlines, you might have, 100 things to do at the same time, and that's what creates a lot of stress. Only so much time to be able to do it. What else creates stress? What's that? Bills. Absolutely. Anything else? What's that? Absolutely. Relationships. Those relationships, personal relationships, as well as professional. You might go into work and you might have somebody who's working with you that just is, just sucks the energy right out of you because that's just their personality, and it's not, you're going to be dealing with that a lot too. So all these things together add to your stress levels. Now, in the future, they talk about different ways of self-care to be able to prevent stress. They talk about working out, diet, exercise. A lot of companies are moving towards a wellness program where if you work for great companies, they will actually encourage you to do this because they find, the studies have found, if you're coming in and you're not stressed, and if you're able to manage that, if you're able to manage stress, you're going to produce better. And it doesn't take, it's not rocket science to figure that one out. If you're coming in and you're stressed every day about your bills or or relationships or co-workers, bosses, it's going to affect your work. And make no mistake about it, you're there to be able to produce and to be productive and to make money for your organization. So, and aside from that, you got to take care of number one. We work in an industry where we work a lot of hours, day and night. We work holidays, weekends. When other people are off work, that's when in the hospitality industry we tend to do. We work those hours. So there's a lot of stress. I can remember working 70, 80 hours a week, and it's very, very difficult. It's not sustainable in the long term, and that's why we talk about getting in with the right companies and working the job. There are sometimes you're gonna have to do that. You know, you're gonna have to work long hours. That's part of the business. It's not a 9 to 5 job. We're not bankers, okay? But that, you'll probably go to business school and study that so you can become a banker. But I can tell you, you know, hours are long too. The 8 to 5 and 9 to 5s are pretty much, you know, a thing in the past. So, but knowing why stress is so important, keeping it under control, is because it can cause mental and physical harm. You know, you talk about you know, mental illness, you know, this is real. So it's being able to keep that under control, staying on top of your health, because you, in the end of the day, you are number one. You are the most important thing. So no job is worth stressing out enough to, you know, to take its toll on you mentally, physically, and emotionally. You know, you have to be on top of that. The stress-related losses, from a business perspective, cause a great deal of loss every year, billions and billions of dollars. So you take a look at you know, calling out of work because of illness, or some people have drug, alcohol issues, things like that. These are all things, and that's all stems from stress. So, I mean, these problems are real, and things we're going to talk about. How can stress from school or work affect other areas of your life? Open question.
Maybe like if you go to work, you know, sometimes this has affected me my freshman year, that I had so much schoolwork to do that when I was at work, the only thing I could think about is getting off work and doing the schoolwork. So I was just more focused on my school stress than actually being at work. So
Anybody else? Okay.
I can relate to that. Sometimes I'm at work, we take 2 minute breaks before we have to go out and take up the next person. Sometimes I'm caught in the middle of a quiz, and my 2 minute break goes over to 30 minutes, but I just cannot not do my quiz and go back to my job. So I didn't understand. Sometimes my job so much relates to me too.
Right. Stress is real. Stress is having all these things coming at you. It seems like coming at you at once, and you're not able to deal with it. So you need to be able to find ways, you know, healthy ways to be able to combat that. Now there are two types of stress. There are positive stress and negative stress. Positive stress is a positive stress that helps you accomplish a task. That's, anybody have an example of positive stress? Not one? Okay. If an instructor might gives you if I give you a project, so you have 3 weeks to work on this, I'm giving you time internally. You should be like, okay, I have 3 weeks. Reverse engineer what I need to be able to accomplish. Set some milestones for yourself, and hopefully that stress, you know, that's some type of stress that keeps you, you know, gets you going. There's plenty of other examples. You know, working out. I think it's you know, stressful, but overall for your body, it's healthy. And negative stress, it's the other kind. It's the kind of wears on you, the kind of makes you feel like the walls are closing in. And this things you need to be on top of, because if you're not, it will eat away at you over time. Working a lot of hours, not taking care of yourself is I've seen it happen to a lot of people. I don't want it to happen to you, so make sure you know that happens. It can lead to fatigue, especially if you're burning the candle from both ends. If you're working late nights, early mornings, which we tend to do a lot in this industry. You know, when you're running on empty, it's generally not good. A lot of people have turned, you know, cigarettes, alcohol, drugs to keep going. It's rampant in our industry. So, steps to dealing with stress. First, acknowledging there is stress. People don't even realize that they're stressing out. I'm more of the positive stress kind. I like that. It kind of drives me, like what Martin Lopez Flohr was talking about earlier, being competitive. I'm just competitive by nature. So the thought that, you know, wanting to accomplish that gives me that pushes me. But you know, from a negative stress, from that standpoint, you have to be able to acknowledge that you have it. If you can't acknowledge that, you know, hopefully you have a small, we talked about last time, having a circle of people with you that are able to look at you and be candid. We can say, listen, you're not yourself, what's going on, we need to figure this, what's going on, just somebody to talk to, figure it out, You recognize why and how you're reacting to the stress. If something bugging you and causing stress in your life, you gotta be able to address it, you gotta be able to, verbalize it and talk it. You have to come up with ways to be able to address it. Every problem has a solution, and a lot of people think, it's tough when your mind is stressed. I don't know if any of you ever feel like this when you have something that stressed you out, and it seems like there's no answer, but there is an answer. So there is a lot of places you can go to here on campus. Talk to somebody, professionals here on campus. It's quite common for everybody to talk to somebody about, whether it be a spouse, best friend, counselor, whatever. It's common. Get it out and talk about it. And then practicing positive stress relief. Working out's a big thing. Just having a hobby. Something about it. Anybody here have a hobby that reduces stress for them? What is that?
Riding motorcycles.
That sounds great.
Just doing stuff with the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
Playing golf.
Awesome. Anybody else?
I like to cook.
That's great. Get your mind off of what you're, whatever you're stressed about, because each of that's just to eat away day in and day out. It's not healthy. All right. What advice would you guys give a friend or family member who looks and appears to be